Today, I want to share with you 3 trading setups which we will most likely take inside of the Elite program. All 3 of those trading setups can make you a lot of money going into 2024 and 2025. All 3 of those trading setups are according to my strategy. They are on the higher time frames, so you have a lot of time to enter and exit those trades, and they just have a very beautiful risk to reward ratio. Without wasting any more time, let's start with setup number 1, which is on AMGN. Of course, as you know, I'm looking at the higher time frames. No indicators, no fundamentals. I'm also actually not looking at Forex, not crypto, just stocks and indices. And AMGN is a stock, so it's one of my setups. What I'm looking at on AMGN, very simple and straightforward. We do have this overall longer term rising channel. I mean, you can literally be blind, but you will still spot this rising channel because it's so obvious. We started in 2014, so over 10 years, AMGN has been trading in this rising channel. And what you simply do is you sell at resistance if you actually short stocks, and you buy at support. It's literally that simple. This month, if you shorted at this upper resistance, we had bearish confirmation on the smaller time frames. Right now, this trade would be in a juicy profit. But what we are waiting for inside of the Elite program is simply a retest of this lower support trend line. Furthermore, we then have this horizontal support and resistance level coming in at this $250 level. So we actually have what's called a confluence of support. And if AMGN retests this support, we just simply do have a very good risk to reward ratio. Because what you can do, of course, you have to wait for confirmation on the smaller time frames. But if you then have the confirmation, you can simply go ahead, enter a long position here, have your stop either below this previous low or here, and just target the top of the channel. You will get a very decent risk to reward ratio. This is just the basic analysis. Of course, I cannot share the entire details with confirmation, etc. right here, because this is literally part of the Elite program. But if you're just doing basic technical analysis, you can see that we do have the channel, you can see that we do have the lower support, and you can see that we do have a horizontal support and resistance level. And you can simply enter a long position, have your stop below the confluence of support, and target the top of the channel. This gives you a potential risk to reward ratio of 1 to 3, which is quite nice. Keep in mind, this is the monthly time frame, so it will take some time for the setup to play out. But again, the longer you can potentially stay in trades, the more profits you will make, the better. Setup number 1, AMGN, pretty simple and straightforward. Setup number 2 is on J&J. You can see they're all having a red flag because they are currently on my watch list. J&J actually almost looks like AMGN because also here we do have a simple channel formation. We do have the upper resistance, we do have this lower support right here, and you can see those channels are very easy to trade. You sell as soon as the market hits this upper resistance, you simply have your stop above this resistance, and you buy as soon as J&J in this case is the lower support. We had another retest in 2020. We had another retest just 3 months ago right here in November 2023. And furthermore, you can see that J&J also has a horizontal support and resistance level right here. We unfortunately missed the setup inside of the Elite program because I didn't monitor J&J well enough. Basically, I was just missing out on this setup. But if we now get another retest of this previous support, we already had confirmation on the smaller time frames, then we can simply go ahead, enter a long position here, have our stop below the previous low, target the previous highs, and you can see that also here we do have a risk to reward ratio of a 1 to 2. Keep in mind, all you need is a couple of those setups to play out. Let's just say you have 4 of those setups playing out during 1 year. You will still make 8R. If you're risking 2% on a trade, that's 16% every single year. And you're literally just looking at charts for 5 minutes a week. That's the beauty of trading the higher time frames. It's still pretty simple to spot those setups. What's more difficult is actually the confirmation, where you actually then enter your trade if we do have enough confirmation, if we're now reversing, etc. But again, basic technical analysis, we do have a channel, we do have support and resistance, and you simply buy at support and sell at resistance. If you break down my strategy, that's all I do. I buy at support, I sell at resistance, that's it. There are more things into it, but if you do not want to overcomplicate things, then buy at support and sell at resistance. J&J, waiting for another retest of the support, going long with our stop below the low and simply targeting the previous highs. It's literally that simple. Third setup is on PFE, Pfizer. You can see again, red flag, because this is on my watch list. Situation right here is also very simple. This looks almost like one of the trades which we are in at the moment, which is already in a profit of 60%. For those of you who are inside of the Elite program, you already know what I'm talking about because I also shared Pfizer in the last week's market breakdown. And the situation right here is also pretty simple. We do have this major horizontal support and resistance level. You can see it was resistance all the way back in 2005 if you want to draw it to right there. Resistance rejecting a couple of times towards the downside. Then we had the major breakout right here in 2013. Since then, after we broke above this resistance, we had a rally of 120%, but always when Pfizer came back to retest this support, we had a beautiful rejection towards the upside in confluence with confirmation on the smaller time frames. And right now, you can see Pfizer had a correction of 55%, is currently sitting at this previous support level, and there is just a very high chance that we will see another, at least short-term, rejection towards the upside. If you want to be more precise, you can even draw a reverse triangle right here. So if this trade plays out, the potential profit target is at this $70 level, which of course means a pump of roughly 200% at the moment, which is quite aggressive. But considering that this is such a strong support area, you can simply go ahead, enter a buy position if we do have confirmation on the smaller time frames, because at the moment, at least when it comes to my trading strategy, there was no confirmation yet. We are still aggressively melting lower, so it will take probably another 1 or 2 months in order to provide bullish confirmation on the smaller time frames. But then you can simply have your stop a couple pips below this support, because if Pfizer breaks the support, then you can see the next target is actually all the way down at this $20 level. So you can have a pretty tight stop. If you want to target the previous highs or even the top of the channel, you have a 1-14, which is ridiculous. You need one of those trades a year, and then you will basically have all of your performance. But you can just target a 1-2, 1-3, maybe this area right here, which was previous support and resistance. And you can again see this setup is very simple and straightforward. We do have a major support zone. I'm buying at support, selling at resistance, waiting for confirmation. That's basically my trading strategy. In this case, you have a very juicy risk to reward, which is always what I am looking for. So Pfizer is setup number 3, which we will maybe take inside of the Elite program. We are still waiting for more bullish confirmation. And if we get the confirmation, maybe you will have an entry up there, but overall it will still be a very good risk to reward setup. You can see all 3 of those setups, very simple and straightforward. All 3 of those setups have a very high chance of playing out. Therefore, you can go in with larger risk and you will potentially make even a greater profit. Of course, it all just depends on your risk to reward ratio, how you're managing your trades, etc. And as you all know, I share everything I do live inside of the Elite program. So regarding the trades which I am in, you will see them inside of the Elite program. If I will take those setups or not, you will see it inside of the Elite program. Maybe I will also take other setups which we are currently having on our watch list. You do get lifetime access because this is the only way how you can make sure that you stick to trading long term. Everything else is literally just bullsh. And of course, you can also sign up for my free trading newsletter. Head to basictrading.net. First link in the description and sign up, because I will also share every once in a while free setups there. If you have any questions regarding this video, as always, leave them in the comment section down below. May the trading gods be with you, and I wish you very profitable trading. I'll see you next week. Keep your long-term vision.